No man did I open up a can of worms tearing into this rear end. Alright guys, welcome to the CBR800V4 bike build. In the last episode, we pulled off the entire rear suspension, we pulled off the back wheel, we pulled off the swing arm, we pulled off the shock, we pulled off the braking system. What we're doing there is the back wheel is getting powder coated along with the swing arm, all new bearings in the swing arm. We're trashing the link braking system for a whole new braking system. So while those parts are out getting powder coated, we want to get everything ready to put it all back together again. What we got is we got a bunch of parts on the table. We want to get them torn down. We want to get them cleaned up. We want to get new seals in them. Also, again, I want to remind you, if you want to take home this one-of-a-kind CBR800 with a V4 engine, go over to the Patreon site, sign up to win. For as little as $1 a video, you can qualify to win the bike. And a little teaser for you, starting March 1st over on Patreon, I'm going to be doing monthly giveaways instead of just the big giveaway from like 5 different companies. So keep your eyes open for that. That's going to be great. So this is everything that's going on today except for this. But I first wanted to show you before we get into it. This is the rear axle. And you can see it's all beat up right here because we had to beat the crap out of this thing. See how rusty this is right here? This was totally rusted into this right here. And it's supposed to just tap out, and it literally took a half hour of beating to get it off. So got a new one of these coming because this is just junk now. New bearing coming in here, new sleeve. That's a bearing going in here, so that'll be all fresh. What we're doing today is we're going to put a new rotor on the back brake. We're going to tear this thing down and rebuild it and put in fresh pads and clean the pistons and get this thing powder coated and do some modifications to it for the new delinking of the brake system. This is the kit for the rear brake caliper. We got some new pads. This is a braided brake line from Goodrich. It's black, which is nice. A couple of new fittings for that. And then this will be part of the brake line too. This will actually actuate the back light, so we're losing the stock switch. And then this thing here, I'm thinking I want to tear it apart. And I want to get this powder coated too, but I'm gonna have to figure that out. I've never taken one of these apart before, so maybe we'll dig into that. But let's do the easy part first, getting a new rotor on here. This is the gear for the speedometer, or is it for the ABS? I can't remember. Then we'll tear into this, and this is gonna take some work, so let's get going. I almost forgot to tell you guys, this just happened today. I'm stoked. There'll be a video coming up about that when I can get to it. I'm getting the silver play button. 3 years of hard work. Boom. Okay, so here's our nice fresh brake rotor for the rear brake from Bike Master. Thank you to the guys over at Tucker.com. They sponsored this bike series. Tucker has been very generous to me for sure. Can't thank them enough. My hand's nice and clean. I'm gonna put a bunch of black fingerprints on this bad boy. Look at that. That is nice, man. Love it. Okay, so now we just need to take off this ring right here, and we're gonna want to clean this ring up some, so let's just get it off first and see how she looks. Now I'm gonna break it loose with this little wrench here, because if I use my, I just want to make sure I don't strip anything using my impact wrench. Luckily these aren't too tight. Alright, so now we have this ring that's going to go on here. So this will go, well, looks like we're losing the ring. Alright, so let's tear into the rear caliper, get this thing ready for powder coat and a rebuild. Clean up the pistons, put in some new O-rings, whatever else we can think of. I mean, that's just gunked up in there. That shouldn't have come out that difficult. Should have just slid right out, so we'll get that cleaned up. Looks like we need a new little rubber booty here. That's pretty done. Just look at the grunge in there, man, and just years of just brake dust accumulating on here. If you've had your bike for a while, you guys want to pull these off every once in a while and pull them apart, clean them up, remove the pistons, and make sure they're moving nice and freely. I can tell just by looking at these pistons that they're not moving in and out of here very well. So let's pop those bad boys out. If you see here, this brake's kind of weird. It has 3 pistons, which is unique to these VFRs. It's the link braking system. So we're going to modify this a little bit so it works with a single brake line instead of 2 brake lines. And yeah, let's just keep tearing into it. Let's get these pistons out of here. Oh man, vice time. Jeez Louise, tight little suckers. Okay, man. I'm going to see if these pistons are stuck. I'm not clamping on them very tight with these vice grips, just barely snug. Actually, I'm not even clamping on them, I'm just gripping it. See if I can get these pistons out without using air. Nice. Lucky on one. Look at that. Nice. Love it. Now if you notice, the one I just took out is longer, so we'll keep an eye on that. Don't want to put them in wrong. Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah, these pistons are in good shape too. Yeah, so the 2 outer pistons are longer, short one in the middle. Easy. Alright, so here's the rebuild kit I found online. Brakecrafters.com. Let's check it out. So we have all the seals for the pistons, the dessert fittings, new washers, new little rubber caps. Nice. And we do have the rubber for this right here. That'll go there. So yeah, good. Let's get this out of here. Okay, now we have these rubber O-rings in here for the pistons. Let's have a little pick tool here to get them out. Should be pretty easy. Yeah, there's a small one and there's a wide one for each piston. Let me show you that. You got your thick one and your smaller one for all 3 pistons, so I'll just pull those out. Okay, next thing I want to do for when these come back from powder coat, I want to take these down to my buddy's shop where he's got a wire wheel, get these all cleaned up. So we got the 3 pistons, this pin here, some bolts. We'll get the threads cleaned up. We'll get this little metal plate, the spring plate cleaned up. And yeah, that's it. Should I powder coat this piece? Sure, why not? Alright guys, so here's the back of the engine. It looks pretty bad. It's greasy, it's dingy. You know, you're going to be able to see this, so we're going to have this nice pretty rear end, and then we can't bolt that to this greasy motor, so I'm going to have to clean this thing up. Got a couple ideas. You can see here the counter shaft sprocket area looks really bad. thinking, guys, this is the speedometer, not the cable going to the back wheel. Oh God, gross. Trash day, can you hear all that racket? Alright, this is going to take some serious scraping. I'm going to make sure you got a catch bucket underneath all this garbage. Oh my God. Alright, dig in. Can't you see I'm busy? Alright, let's give this thing one last spray with simple green. Do a little final wiping with a cleaner rag. I'm going to fire up the air compressor and try to impact off the sprocket. I know all you guys are ready to jump on me for not taking it off while the rear wheel was still on, but didn't happen, so I already know. Don't need to tell me. So let's give this thing a nice little wipe down here. It's like it's so much better, man. There was a ton of grime on this thing. So this is looking great. Let's try to get that sprocket out of the way. Alright guys, check this out. That looks so much better. Got everything clean behind the countershaft sprocket. Just using simple green and a scrub brush and some microfiber towels. I even pulled these bolts out, cleaned the heads really good with a wire brush. This side over here is looking all really good. I think that looks excellent for this build. I'm stoked on it. It was bad before, so I'd say she's ready for a swing arm. So we got a lot of good stuff today. The powder coating should be done this week, hoping. Those parts are going to look great. The engine looks great now, ready for assembly. So make sure you guys come back next week for the next episode. Also, don't forget, if you want this one-of-a-kind bike, go over to Patreon, check it out. It's really easy to sign up. All right, guys, that's it. I will see you next episode.